Yeah. All right, we're back once again for a third time on the stream. I do apologize again, guys. I really cannot apologize enough. There's really nothing we can do here. I don't know if it's Codemasters or if it's PS4 servers, but something is not going right. But we luckily have a car. As I got disconnected, it might have been the issue there. But QVR Packer is into the pits. Bam Bam and Perry the dog are all into the pits as well. So pretty much everyone who was in the lead of this race, they have now made their stops. Bats Plus did not stop, so he's out into the lead of this race for now, into the provisional lead. And RR Silent, Gold Raider, and Chargers are following him behind, with Driz Mick in 5th place, who has not stopped either, and Johnny Breezy has not stopped yet in this race. But we have a second safety car in this race on lap 9 of 27. We've still got quite a bit to go. We've had 2 safety cars, we've had 3 streams. How much more can we take of this?
I mean, the action on track is great. It sounds like the action on...
Oh, Broom, I just lost you there.
Oh, you there?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
You there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you now. Okay.
Oh my goodness, I have no clue what's going on here
glitches.
Today.
I was just gonna say, the on track is great. The off track is even better. Like, what is going on?
All right, and I just got the message your safety car will be coming in this lap, so let's get back ready for some action here for another restart in today's race. Everybody who's joining up the stream, guys, thank you so much for rejoining for another time. I have no idea what's going on with the stream today. We don't usually have these sort of problems, but today it's just all over the place. We had a glitch at the start of the race. We have glitches all over the place now. I've got disconnected twice now. I really don't know what else is going to happen, but hopefully we'll be able to watch this action as it folds out here, because Bats Plus is at the front right now with RR Silent in 2nd, Gold Raider in 3rd, Chargers in 4th, and we're about to get restarted in just a second.
And Packer did not have the best pit stop. He's down in P15. Perry is down in P8. So something must have happened there, but we are underway. Bats Plus leads us away with a great restart there. Gold Raider got a really good start. Well, he's all over the back of Silent there in the Alfa Romeo. Let's see if this Haas can get past pretty quickly. So this is interesting to see how this works out as well. Chargers all over the back of these guys as well. And then we got Drizmic on those older compounded tires right behind these Segrist. And, yeah, got past there, so nice to see that. Breezy moving down some positions, and now he's just ahead of his teammates, so interesting to see how that's played out as well. But Perry looking to try and make his way through the field and get back up to his teammate and try and possibly win this race, because this could be the race where he wins the race for Mercedes.
Wouldn't that be exciting? Wow, this is gonna be a really interesting... Oh, what happened there?
Sorry to interrupt you there, BLIN, but yeah, Segrist just had a little bit of an issue there, spun but saved the car. I got a little bit dramatic there, but yeah, Segrist back on track at P7.
All right, and at the front, RR Silent is right on the back wing of Bats Plus, with Gold Raider following very closely behind as well. So there's quite a bit of pressure on Bats Plus right now to hold on to this front position. And we've only done 10 laps, and about 6 of them were done under safety car. So I would probably imagine the Bats Plus tires can probably take another 3, 4, maybe even 5 laps or so before he has to pit again. That would give him a nice little advantage, but he also needs to pull out some time from the cars behind right now.
I may have a prediction of to why Bats Plus did not pit, and viewers, you may be wondering why did everyone else at the top pit and not Bats Plus. Maybe Bats knows something that those other drivers do not. Maybe it's starting to be dry. You can see less and less raindrops coming down. Maybe Bats Plus is waiting for it to be dry. I'm not particularly sure, but we can worry about the strategy a little bit later into the race. Like you said, what he has to do, Bats Plus, is start breaking away from the drivers behind RR Silent and Gold Raider in particular, and Charger's trying to make his way through the field. And then we got also Perry the dog already on the back of these guys as well. So this is very interesting to see how this worked out.
Oh, you having a giggle there. Nice little move into turn 4, overtaking Drizmic, and now he's also under a little bit of pressure from Bam Bam, but blocks him out of that corner and keeps the position for now. You having a giggle up into 7th, Drizmic down into 9th, or 8th, sorry, and Bam Bam in 9th, following very closely behind there with Ryan as well, right behind them. At the front, it's still Bats Plus leading with RR Silent in 2nd place, with Gold Raider still in 3rd and still within a second of both of the leaders there, so he is really sticking with them, trying to put on the pressure, and we're gonna see how that will work out for him. Oh, it looks like our Silent, no, that was just a glitch on my screen.
Oh
here.
My goodness, we got a major battle for P10. Ryan, Dre Diggy, and Packer almost going 3 wide into turn 10. That was insane. Then Bam Bam is also up there as well. This is a 5-way fight for P8s. We have a Williams. That's prudent off the track at turn 10. Another difficult spot. Another driver has been taken out by that turn. Unfortunate to see, but it looks like he'll get back on track. But yeah, this is an insane battle for P8. And then further up the table, like you said, nice little battle for the top positions with Gold Raider all on the back of that Alfa Romeo.
QVR Packer just gained 1 more position. He's now up into 11th place, and now he's joining this massive train of cars with Ryan and Bam Bam, and here he comes with the overtake enabled on Ryan before turn 1. He's up into 10th place. Let's see. Oh my goodness, almost lost the car there under braking. The back just completely stepped out on him, but he manages to keep it together. Bam Bam is very close to Drizmic. He might even go for a move. Oh, McLaren P1 is retired on right at the last corners there in sector 3, so I'm not sure if he crashed out or what happened, but he is out of this race. Is this going to bring out another safety car? I don't think so, but I wouldn't be surprised if it does.
Yeah, it looks like he may have crashed out of the race. That's that turn 10 where he's had a lot of issues at that section, so McLaren does retire from the Grand Prix. Sorry to see that, but it's the way it goes in Formula 1. Oh, we got Bam Bam versus Drizmic locking up there and making a little bit of contact as well. Oh, the Racing Point has been spun around. Bam Bam and Drizmic made contact there, and that Racing Point will get back on track, but he's going to be down some positions. Did Bam Bam get damaged? Doesn't look like it. Now Packer gains another position and might gain another one because Bam Bam is just up the road.
Yeah, we were actually just watching on board there, and we saw that whole thing unfolding, just a tiniest little touch, but in these conditions, when you lose them back, you can just lose it all around there, and that's exactly what happened to Drizmic, so he's going to have to try and recover some of those positions. F1 Racer moved up a position because of that incident, and he is on the back of Ryan, trying to fight for that last point at this moment in this Grand Prix. Back to the front we go with Bats Plus and RR Silent. RR Silent is really closing up to the back of Bats Plus. He's doing it pretty much on every lap or so. He's closing in by about a 10th, and I am wondering how this strategy now is going to play out for Bats Plus versus RR Silent. RR Silent does not need to pit again. Bats Plus definitely will have to. We're now on lap 13, and as I mentioned before, I think he will try to pull them off to about 14 or 15, but when he pits, he will come out probably around P8 or P9, right in between Bam Bam and QVR Packer, and he's gonna have to really work his way back through the field to recover those positions. His teammate Perry the dog is right now on the back of some really nice DRS train here of Chargers, Gold Raider, a lot of guys in front of him that he can really use to try and get those positions. So what do you think about Bats Plus? What are his chances of getting a podium here tonight?
Oh, sorry to cut you off there, but Silent's going for a move on Bats Plus. Oh, he's actually going to go for... Oh, there's contact, a little bit of contact. Looks like Silent will go back, but yeah, sorry to cut you off there. But yeah, to answer what you were saying, Bats, I think he can still get a podium. It's still possible he can get the race win, but his strategy's it's definitely not working out. He's got to pit now if he's going to stay ahead of... Oh, and he doesn't pit. Very interesting. So... Bats, I'm not sure what his strategy is, but I know Bats very well. He knows his strategies. He knows how these worked out. So I trust him with this, but I really have no idea where this is going with the strategy. Maybe he is waiting for that dry weather to come, but I don't see it coming. So this is really, really uncertain right now how this is going to work out. But if Bats starts losing, and he already is losing all this time, he's going to be behind Packer and maybe even further and further behind, and his strategy won't work out. But we'll have to see how this works out. And Bats, hopefully he'll be able to take home that podium to continue on what you were saying.
Wow, so this could really turn upside down here. We don't exactly know what the weather is going to be like for the next 13 laps that we've got to go here. We don't really know what else might happen. Incident safety cars, we've already had 2 of those. Here comes Perry the dog with his overtake on Seagrease, or on Chargers, sorry. He was trying to go for the move there, but wasn't quite close enough. They were side by side there for a moment. Oh, a little bit of touch there.
Oh!
And here
Gold
comes
Raider
Perry.
And Chargers and Perry.
Yeah, and Perry there gained a couple of positions, jumped himself up into 3rd place now, so he's really gaining time quickly now. RR Silent right on the back of Bats Plus. When is Bats going to pit?
Yeah, that is the big question at this point. When is Bats going to pit? Honestly, I know I should have... Oh, he's pitting now. He is pitting now. Very interesting. So he is going into the pit lane. And the question is, I'm assuming he will pit on intermediates, but will that strategy work out? Did he go too late? Honestly, I feel like he went too late, but maybe that strategy was the best because all the drivers in front on these older compound tires, they might not last at the end of the race. So could Bats' strategy really work? Now the question is, where is he going to come out? I think he actually is going to come out right behind Turkey Whacker in P13.
Ooh, that's going to be a lot of work for him to do to get back up to the front there, while his teammate Perry the dog is right on the back of Silent in 2nd place. Pretty much feeling like he is in a pretty good position here.
And Packer and you having a giggle. Sorry to take it off for what you were saying, but yeah, they just had a little bit of contact there. Packer did get ahead. But yeah, and that front, to continue on what you were saying, that battle at the front is still going down.
Yeah, and Perry the dog there was thinking about sending it down inside into the chicane, but then thought about it. He's using a little bit of his overtake on the exit of the chicane, the second part of the Mistral Straight, as they're coming into turn 10 now. Let's see how this is going to turn out. I'm really excited now because there's a great battle going on for the podium here. We've got some cars that are on some different strategies that might be coming back at it as well. I really don't know if Bats Plus really played this one to his advantage, but as you mentioned, still 12 laps to go, so by the time we're done here, the guys at the front there are Silent, Perry the Dog, Gold Raider, Chargers, Seagrease, QVR Packer, you having a giggle, all the way down to Ryan in 9th place. These guys are gonna have to do about 19 to 20 laps on an intermediate tire at France. That is definitely a tall order.
Yeah, that's not the best thing to do. Those tires will absolutely be screaming at the end of the race, so this could play into people like Bats Plus hands. So it's going to be really, really uncertain how this works out with everyone. So like you said, I'm excited as well to see how this works out when it comes down to the final few laps of this race, to see who comes out on top here at TCR.
Alright, and everybody who's joined the stream, thank you guys again so much for joining this 3rd attempt at this stream tonight. Unfortunately, the game's just throwing all kinds of different, curveballs our way here tonight, trying to get this stream off air, but we are not giving up, as Perry Dog is not giving up as well. He's going down the inside into the chicane there, and didn't quite work out for him, as RR Silent really shut the door, but very cleanly, very good defending, absolutely incredible racing here tonight in Golden Class. Perry is thinking about it, going down around the outside, side by side into turn 10. Oh my goodness, this is so close. They're still side by side as they're coming into the second part of turn 10, but it looks like RR Silent is gonna keep the lead of this race at this point, and this is all letting Gold Raider now catch up to this pack, and he's right on the back of them now. He's gonna start putting on the pressure. Perry losing the back end of the car, and Gold Raider is gonna gonna jump down this inside. He's gonna battle him for this position now. Can he take it away? Not quite. Perry the Dog is gonna hold on for it for now, but he goes down the inside into the last corner. And not quite gonna work out there. Unfortunately, no DRS, but imagine if we had DRS here tonight. That would have been absolutely incredible. But right now, the Gold Raider is using his ERS, his overtake button, to try and make something happen, but it's just not quite there yet. QVR Packer with the fastest lap, 141.5 in these tricky conditions. That is quite quick.
That is very quick. Packer making his way through the field, so don't count Packer out for the race win. He could still take away with this, as now he's trying to make a move on Segrist for P5 in the Grand Prix. Let's see if he can do that. That's going to be interesting to see how that works out. But yeah, still up at the front, still a major battle for P1, but I gotta say, that move that Perry made round the outside at turn 10, I gotta say, that probably was one of the best moves we've seen all race, because not just because that corner is very difficult, but it was in the wet conditions, which we all know you cannot take that corner very normally in any rainy conditions. So that was complete trust between both drivers. Great idea, and I think that would be like an overtake of a week, honestly.
Oh, and something happened there to Chargers. Chargers just had a moment through the chicane. Zegrees had a moment through the chicane, and QVR Packer is up into 5th place now. So that was very sudden. I didn't even really see what happened, but yeah, now Chargers has to watch out for QVR Packer behind him, but he's still got a 5-second gap, and Chargers is still on the back of this train for the battle for the podium, and going into the pits now is Chargers and Perry as well.
Huh. Okay. That's really unexpected. The question is, they're putting on intermediates. Okay. That's very surprising. Now, so maybe they think that they can't make it to the end. You have a giggle, also pitting. This is interesting. So honestly, it feels like Jeff must have told them or something like that. The race engineers or whatever, they all said to pit on one lap. So that's really, really surprising. So, we have TCR F1 Racer and Ryan going side by side, but that I think just proves that these tires might not go to the end of the race. That could help out Bats Plus to get back up into the fight, because now he's ahead of his teammate.
And here comes F1 Racer at Ryan once again around turns 4, 5, and 6. Oldest set of intermediate tires right now, 13 laps. So I'm sure that he will have to be coming in very, very soon as well. It looks like, where's Bats Plus? He recovered only about 4 positions from where he came out of the pit, so he's now in 9th. He's got Perry the Dog right behind him. So yeah, his strategy really didn't quite work out for him, but now I'm wondering how many positions can Perry the Dog recover. It looks like Dre, Ryan, F1 Racer, Bam Bam, Zegrees, pretty much everybody in front of them are going to have to pit again. The question is only when they're going to pit. So this race is still open. It could still be anyone's race.
Oh, Perry just made a major mistake in turn 10, almost spun the car and retired from the race. Sorry to interrupt you there. He saved the cars. Gold Raider does pit from the race lead, so that's interesting to see how that worked out. But yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how this ends up with all our drivers here today. Really excited to see what happens, because strategy is wide open here. There could be drivers that choose to pit, and there could be drivers that choose not to pit. So it's just all down to comfortability to see if one driver thinks that the strategy will work out, or if they're good with conserving those tires, or if the other driver wants to push more, they would pit. So it's really wide open here, and it's going to be a very, very, very exciting race when it comes down to those final 2 laps or final lap of the race.
Bats Plus and Perry the Dog are currently in what looks to be the net lead of this race, if everybody in front of them still has to pit like we are expecting them to. So I think this could be a Mercedes 1-2 here tonight if everything goes to plan in their on their plan. We will have to wait and see, but the gaps are pretty big between Silent and Bats Plus. I think he's got about 15 seconds. So So our Silent is going to be coming out on about second or third place in the net of the race, so to speak. I think he's going to come out right behind Perry Dog if he ends up pitting here in the next couple of laps, and he could still technically take it for another 2 or 3 laps on those tires. We'll have to wait and see how many laps he will continue on. Looking at penalties, QVR Packer and Bam Bam have 5 seconds each. Turkey Whacker has a 3-second penalty as well, so there still could come into play. QVR Packer is coming into the pits once again.
Very interesting. So he has decided that he will not make it to the end of the race. That's a very smart move, because as Bam Bam also chooses to do the same thing, I think all these drivers are realizing that they can't make it to the end of the race, and even if they can, they'll be so far behind when it comes to pace. So smart move by all these drivers. TCR F1 racers also coming in. Bats Plus will come out in P3 actually, sorry. But that will be, of course, like you said, that will be the net lead of the Grand Prix. And then just behind him is Perry the Dog. So Perry pretty much has the best pace on the grid at the moment, because he's all over the back of Bats Plus. So this will be interesting to see how this works out.
And our Silence lead has also really diminished there. He is now only 60, or no, sorry, he's gained a little bit. He's almost 17 seconds ahead of Bats Plus. So yeah, I mean, he might even take it for another couple of laps if he's still gaining time, and then that will give him a slightly bigger window for his pit stop. But we've only got 7 more laps to go. He's going to be on a hugely fresh tire set. This is absolutely incredible. I mean, I'm really happy that this third attempt of our stream stuck around and we're able to watch this, and hopefully we'll be able to finish it out here with a few more laps to go. We had 2 safety cars, and just a reminder, this is round 2 of season 11 of Golden Class here in Trinity Competitive Racing, and wow, incredible racing, absolutely super exciting. Thank you to everybody who's watching so far. Leave us a like, leave some comments, and again, we do apologize about all the technical difficulties that we had, but I mean, this is fully worth it right now.
It really is, yeah. Great to be here, of course, at TCR Golden Class, and great to be here at a very extremely phenomenal race that we have witnessed here today so far. Of course, why I say so far is because we haven't ended the race yet, so anything can happen in the race. And speaking of action and reaction, we got Perry the Dog all over the Bats Plus. He tries to make a move for P3, and this will be for the race lead. So technically this is for the race lead once Segrist and RR Silent do pit. So this is going to be very interesting. But yeah, super excited to see how this plays out with all our drivers here today.
Alright, so RR Silent and Zegrease trying to match each other's strategies, I guess, at this point. They're still not pitting. They've done 13 laps on these tires. It looks like the lead from RR Silent to Bats Plus has gone down by about 3 seconds. It's only about 14 seconds at this point in time. So I think this is the time for RR Silent to pit. He really does not want to lose more time, because the more he stays out there, the more time he's gonna have to make up on the guys in front. So I am really expecting him to come in, and probably Zegrease as well. The gap between the two of them is pretty big, but again, this is now or never, I feel like, for them too.
Yeah, it really is. If they stay out there for longer than this amount of laps, I think they're going to be way far behind the rest of the drivers, and it just won't really matter. So they have to pit now if they're going to continue to challenge for the race lead. So we'll have to see how that works out. Quick little side note, Turkey Whacker has pit for the soft compound tires, which is obviously not the tire to go on, and I think he's probably just doing that for fun, but yeah, he has pit onto the softs.
And neither one of our leaders at this moment have decided to pit, so both Zegrease and RR Silent continue on for their 14th lap on this set of tires, and about 12 seconds between Silent and Bats Plus right now. So again, another 2 seconds lost there. And I mean, the drivers can see these gaps. I'm not sure why he's still pulling it out. Of course, you're going to be on much fresher tires, but when you've only got 5 more laps to go, the extra lap or two are not going to make a difference in tire wear. What's going to make a difference is how much time you're losing on track to the guys behind you that are catching up. So I really think our Silent has just lost out on possibly a podium here tonight, and I think, you know, possibly Goldorator is going to move up into that third position now with Bats Plus and Perry the dog being 1 and 2 as it stands right now. But then again, we don't know if Perry is going to pull out a move on Bats Plus in the last couple of laps and then get the win here tonight. I don't think they're really...
Oh, here it goes.
Oh, there we go.
Sorry to interrupt. He got it already?
Wow, that quickly, and I think it didn't look like Bats Plus was really fighting it too much. Oh, a little bit wide there on the exit, Perry Dog, but managing to keep it on track. So there we go. So that was a little switcheroo between the teammates there. Perry the Dog is now leading the race. It also makes sense because he's on a 3-lap fresher tire compared to Bats Plus. But now I'm wondering, is our Silent possibly just going to try and pull it out until the end of this race? He's got 5 laps to go. He has about a 7 seconds back to Bats Plus, as Zegrease is going to pit right now, and he's gonna put on softs as well.
Softs. Okay. Obviously, I'm not. Okay, that's not the tire to go on. He must have messed up or something like that. But I don't know. I mean, it's raining right now, so obviously it's not the tire to be on, so that might have just ruined his entire Grand Prix. But we'll have to see how that works out. Maybe the dry tires are going to be better at a certain point in the Grand Prix. We'll just have to wait and see. But you mentioned earlier that RR Silent, he has the potential to possibly go to the end of the race. Yes, I want to continue on with what you were saying about that, because earlier league I did in these same sort of rainy conditions at the French Grand Prix, I saw a driver go 22 laps on the intermediate tires, and they were completely fine, no punctures, anything like that. So is RR Silent going to the end on these tires? It's a possibility. If he does do that strategy, though, he's going to probably lose P1 because Perry and Bats are already closing in, and Silent is just going to lose even more time to them in the closing laps.
And Zegrease is not making up any time on those soft tires. He just lost the position to F1 Racer, who is on a fresh intermediate set. Oh yeah, he is not having any fun there. Just lost the car, going much wide outside of the track. And yeah, so I definitely, dry tires are not the way to go here. This track is not ready for it yet, but now I'm really interested to see what Silent is going to do. 4 more laps to go. He is 9.6 seconds clear of Perry the Dog and Bats Plus. And this is where this might become really interesting, because our Silent, yeah, he can't possibly make it until the end of the race on these tires. But when you push these tires to this sort of a limit, they might snap on you, and in France, you have a snap, you might be in the wall. We do have a lot of runoff area here, but Perry, our Silent cannot afford to lose too much time. And look at that, the gap just disappeared. He just lost 4 seconds between himself to Perry Dog, and Perry the Dog is now within 4 seconds of our Silent. So if that's going to be the pace, that's definitely not going to work for Silent.
Yeah, Silent is not going to win this Grand Prix. I'm sorry, but there's just nothing he can do at this point. I mean, what he can do is pit, but he's not going to maintain his performance. I think the only thing he can do at this point is P6. He has to pit now, and he'll come up P6. I'm not sure why he stayed out. Maybe he's thinking that the tires will work out for him. Yeah, Silent, this is, I mean, I don't know what he's doing at this point. I think what he has to do is pit and come out P6. That's the only option I see. The other option would be, which is unlikely, is to stay out, but I'm not sure if that's going to work out. Like you said, if he continues on with this pace, he's already lost 2 seconds to the car behind. Now he is pitting. He is pitting. Oh, and he has a puncture. He has a puncture. He does have a puncture front left.
Oh my goodness, so he pushed it a little bit too far, and this is what I was saying about France. France is brutal on tire wear, and this is completely ruined this race now. He's going to be very, very slow. He's going to probably come out not even in 6th. He's probably going to be in 7th possibly. So we will see how this is going to turn out for RR Silent. But Perry the Dog is now into the lead of this race with Bats Plus, his teammate, in 2nd. This could be a 1-2 for Mercedes here tonight with a great strategy call from the both of them. But yeah, I mean, I got to give it to RR Silent for trying to make it work. But unfortunately, it just completely snapped on him, and he had that puncture. Wow, incredible. And yeah, the rain has gotten much, much lighter, but still not ready for dries.
A few drivers have pit for the drive. Segrist and Turkey are still on the softs, but Silent just pit for the hards, which is very, very peculiar. So very interesting to see how that worked out for him, but I think he's going to lose even more time. But like you said, not time for dries at this moment, and Segrist has been disqualified from the session from assuming parking the car in a dangerous position. But yeah, at the front of the table, like you said, it's exactly what you predicted. The top two, Perry and Bats, a Mercedes 1-2 at the French Grand Prix. And then we got Gold Raider, P3 for Haas. So that's exactly what you predicted, and it looks like it will finish that way with about 2 laps remaining of the race. We're just going to have to see what happens, but it looks like it will be a Mercedes 1-2.
Yeah, and that would be an incredible finish for both of these drivers, both brand new drivers to TCR, both putting on an incredible show in round 1 and now coming back at it and absolutely blowing it out of the water in round 2. Only a lap and a half to go in this Grand Prix here tonight, and that will be a great performance for the Mercedes team. It will definitely boost them up from their 3rd place in the standings right now, right to the top of the table. And wow, just absolutely incredible. But Golden Raider still in a great spot right now, will bring home 15 points for his team. QV Packer is also in 5th place, so that's another 10 points for them as well. So they will be in a very, very close 2nd in the Constructors' Championship. But what a race. I mean, everything that could have possibly happened here tonight has happened. We've had battles. We had 2 safety cars. We have the rain sticking with us all throughout the race. We had 2 disconnections from the server. We've had 3 different attempts at this stream.
Oh, sorry to interrupt you there. Bats just moved down to P5.
Oh, and he's got a puncture too. He's got a puncture on the front left as well. Unbelievable.
Oh my goodness, I was wondering what was going on. I thought it was a glitch, but Bats Plus has just got a puncture. What has happened?
I cannot believe it. He was on a pretty new set. He's only done 11 laps on the set of tires, and he is barely trying to make it to the pits. Oh my goodness, unbelievable. I just completely blown out right now. And Perry the Dog still in 1st, Golden Raider in 2nd now. Chargers has now moved himself up into 3rd place. So that has just shuffled all those standings around that I was just talking about. So forget everything I said. Throw that out the window because it's all gonna change now. Incredible, unbelievable. And Bats is now gonna go into the pits. He's gonna lose a few more positions because of this as well. I cannot believe it. We have a yellow flag in Sector 1. It looks like Turkey Whacker is having some trouble as well. But Perry the Dog out in front by 3.3 seconds with Chargers trying to make up some time on Golden Raider here, trying to take away that 2nd place. Wouldn't that be exciting? But I'm sure Chargers is super happy right now because he was probably not expecting to be on the podium with 1 lap to go. But Bats Plus with that puncture is now in 10th place, and he's got a penalty to his name too.
I cannot believe what has just happened. When that happened, I literally had my hands over my mouth because I was just so much in shock. I cannot believe what just happened. He's just gotten a puncture on 11 lap old intermediate, so literally it's just really not worked out for him. But yeah, like you said, this race has really brought us a very, very different story here today. Chargers will grab the podium here today. Gold Raider will be P2. Perry the Dog will take home the win for Mercedes, but it won't be a 1-2, unfortunately. And F1 Racers just got past the P5, so that's very interesting as well.
Yeah, we just watched that one. F1 Racer and You Having a Giggle were battling it out there for P5. But
contact.
Perry the dog is gonna come across the line here, and he's going to win it for Mercedes with a beautiful performance. First win in TCR Golden Class for him, and it's a nice performance and a huge performance. You know, just a great timing from Perry the dog. Great strategy, great job in the race. Golderator in second place, Chargers in third, QVR Packer in a second outing in TCR, getting a fourth place here, so a nice little heap of points for him as well. TCR F1 Racer is going to be in fifth, you having a giggle in sixth, Bam Bam in seventh place, and Ryan is going to finish in eighth with Dre Diggy in ninth, and Bats Plus, after everything that he has done here tonight, unfortunately is only going to have 1 point to his name. RR Silent, another person who really lost out with another puncture to his name. It looks like he might have another one right now, or he might just be sliding all around, but he is not going to get any points in 11th place. Same TJ is going to be 12th, Prudent is going to be 13th, Drizmig is going to be 14th, and Johnny Breezy is going to round us up in 15th place, with everybody else either DNF or disqualified in the case of Zegrees. But wow, Perry the dog with the win, and I still cannot believe those two punctures for Bats Plus and RR Silent.
Yeah, insane. That just happened. I'm literally shocked at what has just happened here today. The punctures really came into play, which was really unexpected, but that brought us to a very crazy ending to the Grand Prix. Very exciting race to see how this worked out. But yeah, congrats to Perry. We're going to try and get him in here, and of course our two other podium finishers as well as the rest of the drivers as well. They put on an absolutely phenomenal performance, but I gotta say, that puncture for Bats, that really hurt him, I gotta say, because he started pole and he only came home with 1 point.
Absolutely, and yeah, while you're inviting the drivers, maybe see if you can invite Bats Plus as well. Maybe we can hear from him about that puncture. But his teammate is taking the top step on the podium with the win. Absolutely incredible performance for Perry the dog. They pulled out a great strategy together with his teammate. Unfortunately, just didn't work out for his teammate right towards the end there. But Golderator and Chargers are going to join them there, spraying the champagne all over in this round two. Those are your top three. That was one hell of a race. I honestly don't even know what else we could have had to make it any more exciting than that. But again, let's run through the final results. Perry the dog with the win, Golderator with second place, and Chargers win third. QVR Packer with fourth place. TCR F1 Racer got fifth. QVR Packer also got the fastest lap of the race with a 140.7, sorry. You have a giggle in sixth, Bam Bam in seventh, Ryan in eighth place. We had Dre Diggy in ninth, and Bats Plus taking 1 point here today after that unfortunate puncture there. RR Silent in 11th, same TJ in 12th, Prudent in 13th, Drizmig in 14th, Johnny Breezy was 15th, and the last finisher, Turkey Whacker, Zegrees, McLaren P1, Ben Swerven, and TCR Jones, unfortunately did not finish this race with us here tonight. Oh my goodness, that was one of the best races I've ever seen at France. I gotta say, it's not one of my favorite places to race or to watch, but tonight this track delivered absolutely everything you could have possibly asked for, especially without rain. It came in right at the start of the race. We didn't know how long it was going to stay. It stayed all throughout the race. It really played into strategy. We were only expecting a one stop. We ended up getting a two stop from most people, and for some people even the two stop was not enough, with Silent getting a puncture and Bats Plus getting a puncture. Wow, that was absolutely unbelievable. So I think we've got a couple of our drivers on the podium already in the lobby with us here to hear from them for the post-race interviews. Let's start with P3. Chargers, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, Chargers, well, congratulations on that P3. Great performance from you today. Good, amount of points considering your finish second last week as well. So really helping out Red Bull in this fight for the constructors early in the season. But I gotta say, it didn't really look like you were going to be on the podium there right until that puncture that Bats Plus got. Tell me about the race from your perspective, and how are you feeling after getting that podium?
Coming into the race, I felt really confident around France. It was one of my best tracks. And then when I saw the rain, that kind of ended that. Yeah, I just had no confidence at all in the wet. I felt like I had no pace. It was a miracle to end up third. I'm very happy to end up third after that. Yeah, qualifying. My second lap got blocked by a slow McLaren, lost like at least 3-4 tenths, and then on my last lap I spun. So ended up starting farther back, and then yeah, at the start I was stuck. I think it was the top 6 were in a train. I was stuck in P6 for the whole first stint. The safety car came out at a great time for, I think it was Silent, Gold Raider, and me. We all pit, and then we got the jump on the 3. It was Packer, and then the 2 Mercedes got kind of screwed by that safety car. So then I thought at that point we were going to be able to take the inters till the end, but after a few laps I kind of noticed that the tire wear was really bad. So I think me and Gold Rider were the first ones to pit, kind of going for an undercut, because at that point I knew there was no chance. Like, the tires were going to be at like 120% by the end of the race.
Wow.
But yeah, so pit, and then this last stint just couldn't get really any close, couldn't get more within half a second of Gold Rider to have a chance to pass him. Yeah, I didn't really have any pace, but happy with the P3 though.
All right, Broom Handle, did you want to ask any questions for P3?
I did. I just kind of wanted to get your reaction to that P3, actually. I know Blink kind of asked you already, but what was your reaction to kind of see that P3? And also, do you think you find yourself on the podium regularly throughout the entire Silver Class race? And, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with the circumstances, starting in P6 and me not being very good in the wet in general, yeah, I'm very happy with getting a podium. Yeah, hopefully I could be a regular on the podium. I mean, there's probably like 6 or 7 of us that are like really fast, all kind of similar in pace, so should be a good battle most of the season.
All right,
you had a great race here today.
Yeah, absolutely. Amazing performance. I just gotta say, great job for just even keeping out on the track here in France with those sort of conditions. So good luck for the rest of season 11.
Thank you.
Alrighty, well now let's move on to Gold Raider in second place. That was a really nice performance from you as well, Gold Raider. You were really putting on the pressure on the top 2 pretty much throughout the whole race there. There was a moment towards the really closing stages where the 2 Mercedes were starting to pull away from you, but then again, as we've mentioned, Bats Plus getting that puncture sort of came in and landed into your lap and really helped you out there with a few extra points at the start of the season. So tell us about it. Tell us how the race went, and how was racing in the wet around France? Yeah, and I think actually that puncture for Bats Plus, it really worked out to your advantage in terms of points and standings, because QVR Packer, your teammate, he finished P4, so between the 2 of you guys, you're gonna get a really good amount of points there, and I think you might just be able to hold on to first place. But you're, you've been in TCR for a few seasons now. You've raced, I think, in a couple of different classes as well. How are you liking season 11 so far with the new drivers really putting on a show? All right, Broom, any questions for Gold Raider?
Yeah, just one little quick question for you. You were closing up, I gotta say, to the Mercedes ahead of you. Did you think you had the pace? Like, if you had a few more laps, like 5 more laps, do you think you could have closed up to Perry and possibly gotten the win?
Tire wear? All right. Well, I mean, congratulations again on this P2. As you said, your first podium, so that's a really, really great achievement. Hopefully, we'll see you on the podium more often in the season. Alrighty, and now, moving on, of course, to the Mercedes and to Perry the dog, getting a beautiful win here tonight. First of all, that 1-2 that you guys had for most of the race with your teammate was absolutely incredible. You guys worked out a really good strategy. Lost out a little bit under the first safety car from what I noticed in the pit stops, but then you really made up those positions for the rest of the race. And your first win in TCR and this golden class. Tell us how you feeling.
I'm feeling pretty good. Thanks for the coverage. I think you guys did an awesome job tonight. I'll say, I love rain races. You kind of get a mixed bag, and tonight definitely delivered that. When we got the safety car and everybody, top 3 was basically too far past the pit window to get in. So I honestly was thinking about just staying out, and then Bats was like, well, one of us should follow Packer. So then I decided to do that, and turns out that paid off. It was just fun driving through the field there a little bit. Had a nice couple overtakes racing through the field, and then I thought I was with you guys. I thought we had the 1-2 settled out. Obviously, I think the track was drying the last 5 laps where it was like, it was almost in between dry and wet tire stage, so I think that cooked Bat's tires and led to his puncture, which is unfortunate. But, I mean, it was just a fantastic, fun race. Just had a little bit of everything.
Absolutely, and I didn't even notice, but you got P3 in round 1, now the win in round 2. You're brand new to this league, you're brand new to this class. This is not a very easy class to make an impression in, and you've already done that after just 2 rounds. So where do you see yourself in Season 11 in Golden Class?
I mean, I think, I go out every race and try to compete and be in the top 5. I think that's the goal. So, fortunately, I've had some past league experience to put me, I think, at that level with the rest of the gold tier. So, I mean, I'm just trying to find competition, and everybody else, obviously, the rest of this league, I'd say probably the top 10, really put in a lot of time, work, and effort. So, you can't really fault anybody. It's just, it's just a lot of fun. I think I have a lot of fun out on the track. I mean, it's fun to be in Gold Class, fun to be in TCR, and, I hope continue to deliver top 5 finishes this year.
Incredible, and Broom Handle, any questions for our winner?
Yeah, just a quick race question for you. Of course, congrats on the win, first of all. Great achievement for you. You had incredible race pace. So congrats on that, first of all. But you did mention that you enjoy racing in the wet. What is what do you like most about the wet conditions, especially around this track?
I mean, I think it makes one strategy. I mean, it throws everything out the window, and you get a safety car here, and I mean, just it's pretty unpredictable. And then secondly, it's kind of a family heritage. I jokingly say that, but my dad used to race Formula Fords, and the only 2 races he ever won was in the wet. And one of those races was because they were sitting on the grid and a thunderstorm popped up, and he was the only guy that thought to put wet tires on right before the race started. So I just think it's funny that my dad was really good in the wet, and so I try to be good in the wet and make that kind of our family heritage.
That is super cool, absolutely. Well, good luck for the rest of Season 11. Congrats on the win here today, and let's see what you can do.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, and one more person that we wanted to speak to here today is the teammate of the winner, another Mercedes driver, another brand new driver to the league and to this class, Bats Plus. Welcome to the post-race interviews.
Hey, thanks a lot.
So, I mean, we wanted to bring you on because you were, for most of that race, you were either in the lead or in P2 in the net standings. You guys had such a great performance going, really nice team performance. It looked like you were pulling each other through the race and, really amazing up until that point when you got that puncture on what seemed to be a pretty, not very worn out set of intermediate tires. Your teammate did mention, of course, that the track was drying up and it felt like maybe, the tire wear and the tire temperatures were getting up there. What do you think really caused that puncture for you?
Well, I kind of knew around lap 11 or so that it was going to be tough to do a one stop, but I was already committed to it, so I had to give it a shot. So I even stayed out an extra lap before my pit stop, and when I went in, the left front was on 78%, so I knew that I was going to be in the 70s towards the end, and I think that track just started drying a little bit at some point. It was never really wet the whole race, and it blew out on the second to last lap, and that's pretty much it.
And do you feel like maybe something you could have done in the setup to alter that at all, or in your driving, or was it just completely, out of your control because of the track conditions?
Yeah, I don't think there was anything that I could do about it. I mean, I could have maybe put a different setup on it, but for our intermediates, a wet setup's not really going to help. It's going to be the same speed anyway. So yeah, we basically decided that one of us was gonna pit and one of us was gonna stay out after we got kind of screwed by the safety car because we just passed the pits. Otherwise, we both would have gone in and two stopped and probably would have finished 1-2, but it just didn't work out that way.
Wow, I mean, that was incredibly unfortunate. Silent also got a puncture as well on the same tire, so I feel like maybe this particular track is just really, really hard on the front left. But yourself and both your teammate, you guys are brand new to the league. You guys have put on incredible performances so far in round 1 and round 2. My same question to you as I asked your teammate, coming into this, do you feel like you have, what it takes to be right up there and battling for the championship?
I think so. I know Perry from a different league, so I've known him for like 6 months maybe, and I know we're about the same pace in a race, depending on the track. And I also know Silent from another league, so I know he's really fast, especially in qualifying. And I saw a couple other guys in like the trial races, so I kind of got an idea of where everyone was, and I know that I can compete for the top 3 at least in most of the races, but really anything in the top 6 is cool. And then obviously I think that we want to kind of shoot for 1 or 2 of the constructors championship, so I think that's the main thing.
All right, man. Well, congratulations still on a really great performance here today. I know it's not the finishing position you wanted, but we still got 10 more rounds to go, and judging by your pace here today, you definitely got a really good chance to be up there.
Yep, we'll see how it goes.
All right, well, good luck for the rest of the season to all of our podium finishers. Broom, your impressions with this race tonight, man. Tell us all about it.
Oh, I just gotta say, what an amazing race we just witnessed here today. I cannot believe what has just happened. What a way to begin Season 11. Of course, we had our round 1, but round 2 as well. A great race to see how this played out. And, just want to say congratulations to our podium finishers. And to Bats as well, of course. You were on the you were going to be on the podium as well, so I'd consider you to be on the podium as well. So congrats from all of you. Congrats from all the rest of the drivers as well. They did an absolutely incredible job as well. Great to be here at Golden Class for another commentary, another race that will probably go down in history as a race that has a lot of punctures, I gotta say, because a few drivers did get us a lot of punctures. And the rain made it incredible as well. But what a great race.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks again to Broom for joining me in the commentary. Thanks to all of our drivers in the Golden Class and our podium finishers for joining the interviews. Big thank you to everyone who made it to the stream and made it through all 3 attempts of us streaming this race here tonight with all of the glitches and all of the connection issues we've had. I do apologize about that once again, but thank you guys so much for sticking it out with us. So thanks again to everybody who's been watching. And before you leave, I'm going to mention again, check out our sponsors, Fanatec, our affiliate sponsor. Check out the link in the description if you're looking to buy some amazing equipment. They make some really great sim racing equipment, so check out that description and you'll be supporting the league by buying it through that link as well. And there's another link in there as well for the TCR shop, where Sticky Fingers Canada has provided us with a series of stickers. We will be doing apparel, t-shirts, and decals and things like that later on as well, but we're really just starting out with the stickers because we want to feel it out. So go on there, buy some stickers. You'll be really helping us out and supporting this league, and you'll be seeing it grow thanks to your support. So again, huge thank you to everybody who's been watching. Thanks to all the drivers. Thank you to Broom for joining me. We will be back here tomorrow for another TCR race. It's going to be the Platinum class, back here again at the Circuit Paul Ricard in Le Castellet, France, for their round 2 of season 11. We will be back with you tomorrow at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as always. And yeah, huge thank you to all of the TCR officials, stewards, and everybody else who works on this league. We will see you guys tomorrow from BLIN-MACHINE and Broom Handle. Have a good night, and join us tomorrow.